Biomed Nexus Daily Updates, your essential biotech, medtech, and pharma recap. No noise, just what matters. TLDR GSK licensed SA030, a long-acting siRNA targeting ALK7 from China's Siran Bio for up to $1, 05B in milestones plus royalties. The drug is designed to reduce abdominal fat while preserving lean mass, addressing cardiometabolic risk rather than appetite. GSK CEO Luke Meals has said the company is focusing on downstream effects of obesity rather than addressing the actual obesity itself. Bayer acquired Perfuse Therapeutics for $300 million upfront, its first pharma acquisition since 2021. Perfuse is developing an eye implant for glaucoma and diabetic retinopathy. Viridian Therapeutics reported positive Phase 3 results for elegrobart in thyroid eye disease. The drug normalized eye protrusion and improved double vision. The company plans to file for approval in Q1 2027. SCOTUS mifepristone briefs are due today, May 7th. Alito's administrative stay expires May 11th. Executive takeaway GSK is making a deliberate choice not to compete in the GLP-1 weight loss race. Instead, the company is building a cardiometabolic strategy around the complications of obesity rather than the weight loss itself. The Siran Bio deal is the clearest articulation of this approach. SA030 is a long-acting siRNA that silences ALK7, a protein involved in fat storage and inflammation. In preclinical studies, ALK7 inhibition reduced abdominal fat while preserving lean muscle mass, a combination that GLP-1s have struggled to achieve. Siran Bio said SA030 has a complementary and distinct mechanism to GLP-1 agonists, supporting future combination approaches. The implication is that SA030 could be used alongside Wegovy, Foundayo, or any GLP-1 to address the cardiometabolic risk that persists even after weight loss. GSK is not the only company pursuing ALK7. Arrowhead Pharmaceuticals already has Phase 1/2A data for ARO-ALK7 in combination with Lilly's Zepbound. The 1B deal validates the target. Meanwhile, Bayer broke a 5-year pharma M&A drought with its $300 million Perfuse acquisition, signaling renewed deal appetite. And Viridian's elegrobart Phase 3 success in thyroid eye disease sets up a filing next year in a market where Amgen's Tepezza currently dominates. Read full analysis, what to watch. GSK Siran Bio Phase 1 completion. Siran Bio completes Phase 1 studies, then GSK takes over development and commercialization outside Greater China. Phase 1 data will determine whether the preclinical ALK7 profile translates to humans. ALK7 competition. Arrowhead's ARO-ALK7 already has Phase 1-2A data alongside Zepbound. If both programs succeed, ALK7 becomes a validated target and a new competitive space adjacent to GLP-1. SCOTUS mifepristone, today. Briefs due from Louisiana and the FDA. Alito's stay expires Sunday, May 11th. The full court's next step will determine whether the Fifth Circuit ruling takes effect. Fierce Biotech Week, May 12 to 14. Boston. Major industry conference with deal announcements, pipeline updates, and strategic presentations. ASCO countdown, 23 days. Revolution. Medicines plenary session, May 31st. Corporate and business development. GSK licenses fat-targeting siRNA from Siran Bio for up to 1B. GSK. What happened? GSK entered an exclusive licensing agreement with Suzhou-based Siran Bio on May 6th for worldwide rights, excluding Greater China, to SA030, a long-acting siRNA targeting activin receptor-like kinase 7 ALK7. GSK will pay an undisclosed upfront plus up to $1, 005B in development, regulatory and commercial milestones, plus tiered royalties on net sales. Siran Bio will complete Phase 1 studies, after which GSK assumes responsibility for further development, regulatory filings, and commercialization. The science. ALK7 is a receptor involved in fat cell adipocyte biology. SA030 uses adipocyte-directed delivery to silence ALK7 in fat tissue, which in preclinical models reduced abdominal visceral fat while preserving lean muscle mass and improved insulin sensitivity, blood lipid profiles, and fat cell-driven inflammation. Siren Bio described a long-acting profile supporting low-frequency dosing. The mechanism is distinct from GLP-1s, which primarily work through appetite suppression and delayed gastric emptying. Executive Impact. GSK CEO Luke Meals told reporters in February, "I think it's going to be very crowded," referring to the GLP-1 space. "Our focus is more on the downstream effects of obesity rather than addressing the actual obesity itself." SA030 fits that strategy. The drug is positioned as complementary to GLP-1s rather than competitive with them. GSK's broader cardiometabolic pipeline includes a Phase 3-ready FGF21 analog for metabolic dysfunction-associated steatohepatitis, MASH. The Siran Bio deal is the latest example of a Western pharma company licensing assets from Chinese biotechs, following Lilly, Hengrui, Calera, AbbVie, Haisco, and others. Bayer acquires Perfuse for $300 in first pharma deal. Since 2021, Bayer acquired Perfuse Therapeutics for $300 upfront, marking the company's first pharma acquisition since 2021, according to Biospace. Perfuse is developing an eye implant for sustained drug delivery in glaucoma and diabetic retinopathy. The deal expands Bayer's ophthalmology pipeline and addresses a key unmet need: patient compliance with daily eye drops, which remains the primary barrier to effective glaucoma management. Clinical and research updates. Viridian's elegrobart hits Phase 3 in thyroid eye disease. Viridian Viridian Therapeutics reported positive Phase 3 results for elegrobart in thyroid eye disease, TD. The drug normalized the degree of eye protrusion, proptosis, and improved double vision in treated patients. Viridian plans to file for approval in Q1 2027. Elegrobart would compete with Amgen's Tepezza, the only FDA-approved TED treatment, which requires 8 infusions over 21 weeks. If elegrobart demonstrates a more convenient dosing profile, it could capture meaningful market share. The TED market is expected to grow as diagnosis rates improve. The week ahead. May 7, SCOTUS mifepristone briefs due, today. May 11, Alito's mifepristone stay expires. May 11th, Daiichi Sankyo delayed earnings, tariff impact. May 12 to 14, Fierce Biotech Week, Boston. May 19, RBC Global Healthcare Conference, New York. Late May, Commerce Section 232 report on medical devices expected. May 29th, FDA RTCT public comment period closes May 29th to June the 7th. ASCO annual meeting, Chicago. May 31, ASCO plenary, Resolute 302, full data, RVMD, read, full analysis, Biomed Nexus Pro, institutional intelligence brief, ALK7, the next frontier in obesity. Adjacent medicine, the GLP-1 market is projected to exceed $200 billion by 2030, but GLP-1s have a problem. Patients lose muscle mass along with fat. A meaningful portion of weight lost on GLP-1 therapy is lean mass, including muscle. For older patients or those with sarcopenia risk, this is a significant clinical concern. ALK7 inhibition could solve this. Preclinical data from Siran Bio show that silencing ALK7 reduces abdominal, visceral fat while preserving lean mass. The mechanism targets fat cell biology directly rather than working through appetite or gut motility. That means ALK7 inhibitors could be used as add-ons to GLP-1 therapy. The GLP-1 suppresses appetite and drives weight loss, while the ALK7 inhibitor ensures the weight that comes off is fat, not muscle. 2 companies are pursuing this: Siran Bio, GSK, SA030, long-acting siRNA with adipocyte-directed delivery. Phase 1 in progress. GSK takes over after Phase 1 completion, up to 1B in milestones. Arrowhead Pharmaceuticals, ARO-ALK7 RNAi therapy. Phase 1-2A data in combination with Lilly's Zepbound already available. more advanced clinically than SA030. If ALK7 inhibition works in humans the way it works in preclinical models, the combination of GLP-1 plus ALK7 inhibitor could become the standard of care for obesity. That would create a multi-billion-dollar market for ALK7 drugs that is additive to, not competitive with, the GLP-1 franchise. GSK's bet is that being first to market with a complementary mechanism is more valuable than being fifth to market with a GLP-1. GSK's contrarian play: every major pharma company has entered or attempted to enter the GLP-1 weight loss market. Pfizer tried and failed with danuglipron. Amgen is developing MariTide. AstraZeneca acquired multiple obesity assets. Roche licensed CT996. The result is what Mills called very crowded. GSK chose a different path, addressed the complications of obesity, MASH, cardiovascular disease, kidney disease, metabolic syndrome, rather than compete on weight loss directly. The portfolio includes the FGF21 analog for MASH, Phase 3 ready, SA030 for cardiometabolic fat reduction, Phase 1, and Shingrix revenue to fund the build. The logic: the TAM for obesity complications may be larger than the TAM for weight loss drugs because most obese patients develop complications whether or not they take a GLP-1, and the competitive landscape is far less crowded. If SA030 works, GSK could own a category that every GLP-1 patient is a candidate for. Viridian versus Tepezza. Amgen's Tepezza, teprotumumab, is a multi-billion-dollar franchise as the only FDA-approved treatment for thyroid eye disease. The drug requires 8 IV infusions over 21 weeks. Viridian's Elegrobart hit Phase 3 with proptosis normalization and double vision improvement. If the dosing is more convenient, fewer infusions, subcutaneous option, shorter treatment course, Elegrobart could take significant share from Tepezza. Key caveat: Tepezza is deeply entrenched with ophthalmologists and endocrinologists. Switching from a known therapy to a new one requires both clinical differentiation and commercial execution. Viridian's Q1 2027 filing timeline means an approval could come in late 2027 or early 2028. Catalyst calendar, May 2026. Forward date event tickers. Today, SCOTUS mifepristone briefs. Due in May 11 Alitos, mifepristone stay, expires in May 11 Daiichi. Sankyo delayed earnings, tariff impact. DSNKY May 12-14 Fierce Biotech Week, Boston. Multiple May 19 RBC Global Healthcare Conference, New York. Multiple late May Commerce, Section 232 Report on Medical Devices expected MDT, BSX, SYK, ISR GMA 29 FDA, RTCT Public Comment Period, closes in May 29 to June, to ASCO Annual Meeting, Chicago. Multiple May 31 ASCO Plenary, Resolute 302, Full Data RVMD late, Q2 Lilly Foundayo T2D filing under CNP VLLYH2, 2026 GSK, Seran Bio, SA030, Phase 1 completion. Expected GSK Summer 2026 FDA, RTCT Pilot Program. Launches, multiple June 2026 Takeda CEO Transition, Julie Kim, TAC, July 1 Medicare, GLP-1 Bridge Program. Launches LOY NVO Q1 2027 Viridian, Elegrobart filing. Expected VRD in Q3, 2026 Teva EmailX, close expected Teva H2, 2026 EcoPIPAM, NDA filing, expected Teva July 31 Section 232, Pharma tariffs effective, large companies, multiple H2 2026 Foundayo, T2D regulatory action, expected LLYH2, 2026 Lilly, Colonia, close expected LLYH2 2026 Ajax, proof of concept data, expected LLYH2 2026 Revolution Medicines, CNPV NDA filing, expected RVMDH2 2026 Novo Nordisk weekly US launch, first weekly insulin, NVO mid-2026 Lilly retatrutide, Phase 3 obesity readouts, Triumph program, LY Sept 19 Ultragenics, UX111 PDUFA, Sanfilippo, Type A gene therapy, Rare Sept 29 Section 232 Pharma tariffs effective, all other companies. Multiple deck, 7 Lilly Investment Community Meeting LLY end of 2026 PHRMA CEO transition and a visit. The Pro Hub read, full article, is your company listed in the Biomed Nexus directory? 2,104 companies across 14 categories. Claim or upgrade your listing. Sponsorship slots for 2026 are limited. See packages and pricing. New Biomed Nexus Signals, weekly sales intelligence for life sciences, BD teams. Learn more.